Dankie, achtbare speaker. Dear U, Honorable President, when you addressed the South African National Editorial Forum or Editors Forum, you said that COVID-19 provided a golden opportunity to get rid of the colonial and apartheid economy. And that's why my question is specifically of how are you going to do it? You've made a lot of statements now, and I think everybody in South Africa knows by now what you want to do. You want to restructure. But unfortunately, we don't get the detail. And that is what I mean by how are you going to do it? By referring to the golden opportunity, Honorable President, I think indirectly you actually say that we cannot blame the colonial past and apartheid for the future of the economy. And my follow-up question is as follows. Don't you think this is a golden opportunity to get rid of black economic empowerment, get rid of affirmative action? You've asked the youth to get involved in building South Africa. Does that include all the youth? Does that include black, white, colored, and Indian? And seeing in the light of the State of Secretary of...
Your time, Honorable Groenewald. Conclude.
Honorable Speaker, sorry, I thought that I've got 2 minutes, and I've got a clock right, and it's at this moment not even 2 minutes. Yes. Can I ask net my last follow-up, please?
Conclude, please.
Thank you. The last follow-up, Honorable President, is in the light of the words of the State of Secretary for the United States that said that expropriation without compensation will be disastrous for the economy of South Africa. Do you still continue with that? I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable President.
Thank you, sir. The Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The answers to those questions are fairly straightforward. Black BEE, Black Economic Empowerment, the broad-based Black Economic Empowerment policy thrust of this government, if anything, needs to be enhanced. We need to ensure that Black people who were forever under apartheid rule and colonial rule excluded from playing an important role in the economy of their own country are given their rightful position in playing an important role in the economy of their country. This is something that has to be done without any fail. We cannot continue having an economy that so excludes the majority of the people and believe that we can grow the economy. I've often said, Honorable Groenewald, our economy actually is a damaged economy because it is not utilizing all the resources or what it can utilize. The person power resources, the financial resources, and the natural resources of the country. We are not utilizing to good effect to drive our economy to move forward. It's like we've got a vehicle with 12 cylinders. It's just been operating forever and in a day on 4 cylinders. It cannot be. And the only way we can is to bring Black people into the mainstream of the economy. And because they were deliberately excluded through laws, through policies, through conventions and practices, we've got to ensure that we implement the provisions of our Constitution. And the Constitution says in order for us to attain equality, we've got to have legislative measures that will enable us to do precisely that. So BEE is here to stay. We must bring Black people into the economy of our country. Otherwise, we will continue having an economy that continues to misfire. You cannot have an economic situation where the majority of the people are excluded, they don't have ownership, they don't have control, they don't even have management. It should be a shame on those who have always held power and ownership that we still have a situation like this. Affirmative action as well is the policy of the government, and it will continue. We have extended a hand that on land reform, our constitutional committee, the parliamentary committee, must proceed to finalize the work that they are doing. We want to see that committee reappointed so that it finalizes, and once it finalizes that, we will all be very clear on the issue of the expropriation of land without compensation. We will also be clear on how it is going to be done and how it is going to be effected. I think as South Africans, we must accept that we've got to change. Because if we do not do so, it is those who have been excluded from the economy of our country who are going to respond. And then all could be lost. The best that we can do as South Africans is to work together. We need to work together to say, how do we secure a common future together going forward? Because the current situation, Honorable Groenewald, is untenable. We've got to restructure, and those who say everything is fine and honky-dory are actually living in a world that, is very strange to the majority of our people. Our people are yearning for inclusion. They are yearning for participating in the economy of their country. They are yearning to have the skills that they were denied in the past. They are yearning to be owners. They are yearning to be managers of the economy. They are yearning to participate. And if there ever was a time for us to give them that opportunity, this is the opportunity. What I would have wanted to hear from Honorable Groenewald is for Honorable Groenewald and his ilk coming forward and saying, like many others are doing, and saying, we realize that we've got a historic problem. Apartheid excluded the majority of Black South Africans from land ownership, from ownership in the economy. This is what we think we should do. I would have preferred for them to come forward with proposals rather than come forward with barriers, impediments, problems. We want solutions, and our people have been patient forever and in a day, and they've been waiting for solutions. And I'm saying, Honorable Groenewald, let us work together, not sham solutions, but real solutions that are going to be impactful on the livelihoods of our people. How do we get an inclusive economy should be what preoccupies you in your mind and in everything you do, rather than let us continue holding on to the privileges that white people have always had in this country. Everybody wants to be privileged. And the past dispensation that we had in this country, which gave privileges to white people, is not sustainable. It has actually served this country very, very badly. our economy is where it is today because this country in the past focused on just a few and giving privileges to a few people and not advancing privileges to all. And the sharing was just a few people who shared. And we say the only way to move forward, and Honorable Groenewald, that's where the world is going today. The world is saying, let's have inclusive growth. Let us have growth that will advance everybody's interest, because it has been seen that where you are actually partial and just look after the sectional interests of a few, your country never moves forward.